Hello, welcome to Adventures with Scripture. I'm Carolyn. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today, we will be reading Revelation 17, and this will be about the judgment of the false religions of the world system with Babylon the Great. So, if you wouldn't mind meeting me in Revelation chapter 17, if you would like to follow along. One of the seven angels who had poured out the seven bowls came over and spoke to me. "Come with me," he said. "I will show you the judgment that is going to come on the great prostitute who rules over many waters. The kings of the world have committed adultery with her, and the people who belong to this world have been made drunk by the wine of her immorality." So the angel took me in spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on the scarlet beast that had 7 heads and 10 horns, and blasphemies against God written all over it. The woman wore purple and scarlet clothing and beautiful jewelry made of gold and precious gems and pearls. In her hand she held a gold goblet full of obscenities and the impurities of her immorality. The mysterious name was written on her forehead: Babylon the Great, mother of all prostitutes and obscenities in the world. I could see she was drunk with the blood of God's holy people who were witnesses for Jesus. I stared at her in complete amazement. "Why are you so amazed?" the angel asked. "I will tell you the mystery of this woman and the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, on which she sits. The beast you saw was once alive, but isn't now. And yet he will soon come up out of the bottomless pit and go to eternal destruction, and the people who belong to this world, whose names were not written in the book of life before the world was made, will be amazed at the reappearance of the beast who had died." This calls for a mind with understanding. The 7 heads of the beast represent the 7 hills where the woman rules. They also represent 7 kings. 5 kings have already fallen, and the 6th now reigns, and the 7th is yet to come, but his reign will be brief. The scarlet beast that was, but is no longer, is the 8th king. He is like the other 7, and he, too, is headed for destruction. The 10 horns of the beast are the 10 kings who have not yet risen to power. They will be appointed to their kingdom for one brief moment to reign with the beast. They will all agree to give him their power and authority. Together, they will go to war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will defeat them because he is the Lord of all lords and King of all kings, and his called and chosen and faithful ones will be with him. The angel said to me, "The waters where the prostitute is ruling represents masses of people of every nation and every language. The The scarlet beast and his 10 horns all hate the prostitute, but they will strip her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her remains with fire. For God has put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purpose. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast. And so the words of God will be fulfilled. And this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that rules over the kings of the world. So just from reading the first 2 verses, we see that one of the angels that poured out the bowl has come to guide John, and he'll see the many waters, and the many waters equals the people and the multitude of nations. And she represents influence over the entire world. Makes you wonder who Great Babylon actually is, doesn't it? Kings will commit adultery with her. That's symbolic for and of the political alliances with a corrupt spiritual system. This is not just immorality, it is a spiritual compromise on the global level. And then John sees the woman sitting on the scarlet beast, full of blasphemous names, and the 7 heads and the 10 horns. It's the same beast that we read about in Revelation 13. The woman dressed in purple and scarlet, that represents the royalty and luxury. And of course she's adorned with gold and jewels, showing wealth, and then drunk with the blood of the saints. And as we were reading along, we see that on her forehead it says Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abomination of the earth. Well, I think we can all pretty much figure out who Mystery Babylon is when you really stop and read between the lines. It's just what I think. I could be wrong, but I tend to think we already know who Mystery Babylon is. So the evil often presents itself as being attractive, that it's seductive, right before destruction. And what is Babylon symbolic for? Babylon is, in the scripture, always represents human pride, rebellion against God, corrupt political and religious systems, economic exploitation, prosecution of God's people, and of course we see a lot of that kind of stuff happening. Babylon is bigger than just one city. It is an entire system, religious, political, economical, and of course, rebellion. When I was reading between 7 and 14 in the scriptures, the angel explains that the beast that was seen, that is not, but is about to rise, that echoes a counterfeit resurrection, basically mocking Jesus. So keep in mind that the 10 kings who will receive authority, they will give all of their power to the beast. And they will all wage war against the Lamb. as we know, as it is written, the Lamb will conquer them, for he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. And with him, he will have his chosen and faithful. That is the church. I would like to think that if something like this actually happens while I'm still alive, that I will be a part of that, of his church. Only time will tell. A reading in verses 16 through 18. The beast and the 10 kings, they actually hate the prostitute, and they will destroy her by burning her with fire. The very system that she rode on will turn against her. And what have we all learned over our lifetimes? Evil will devour itself. And then God will use the wicked alliance to bring judgment. For God has put it into their hearts to carry out his purpose. So Babylon falls not by a human reform, but by the divine decree. So God will use what is negative, what is bad, and he will use it for his intentions, for how things should be. As we generally do, I go through a theme. So, the seduction before destruction. That is the theme the world system offers. Wealth, influence, power, and cultural acceptance. One day, this is not a good thing, and the next day, this word means something totally different. And whenever spiritual truth aligns with a corrupt power for control, that shows Babylon is at work. God, he is not surprised by this. It's been written for thousands of years prior to even my existence on earth. This chaos is not random. The Lamb is not threatened by anything anyone says or does. And history moves forward to show Christ's victory. This was kind of a shorter chapter. I thought it would take a little longer to record. It has not. I hope you are all doing well, though. It has been a hectic last couple of weeks. And although I do have a new Instagram up, I'm battling it right now. So I did get a WhatsApp. I downloaded that. I never thought I would. Here we are. And I will figure out how to link that. So if you ever want to comment without going public, I will get that linked up in the next couple of days, hopefully. I'm just, as I said before, still battling the whole Instagram fiasco. And I do appreciate everybody's time and understanding. And thank you so much for taking time out of your precious day to watch my videos. And I hope you all have a magnificent day. And I will be praying for everyone.